Hi, in this video I'm going to talk about address and address payable. Our content is what is an address in Solidity, what is an address payable, and we'll then see the difference between address and address payable. So let us start with address. The address type is used to represent a 20-byte BNB smart chain address. An address is a unique identifier for an account or a contract on the blockchain. It's similar to a bank account number, but it's used on the blockchain instead of in a traditional banking system. So it's a special data type to Solidity. So even if you are coming from other programming languages, you might not be familiar with address data type, but we'll get into details and give some examples here. So here how we can declare and initialize it. We are basically using address keyword, then an access modifier, then the name of the variable, then an address. We'll also have this address in a different way while coding. So let us see address payable. The address payable type is used for addresses that can receive BNB and other tokens and can also transfer them to other addresses. You can also call functions on that address to transfer BNB or tokens out of it. So here how we can create an address payable variable. It's just the same logic here. But what is the difference? I'm sure you got the idea, but let us see it element by element. So address is a data type that represents a BNB smart chain address, but it cannot receive or hold BNB or other tokens. It can only be used to store an address and to send BNB or tokens to that address. When transferring BNB or tokens between contracts, you need to use an address payable variable to specify the recipient because address variables do not have a .transfer function. We will use these functions while developing our project in the next section of the course, so you don't need to worry about address payable for now because we'll be using it in every step of the development of the project. So address variables can be implicitly converted to address payable, but the opposite is not true. This means that you can assign an address value to an address payable variable, but you cannot assign an address payable value to an address variable without using an explicit conversion. So let us see the syntax here and we'll have a better understanding on it. For example, here I want to convert some address variable to an address payable. Let us call it recipient. So to be able to do that, we basically use payable keyword and we are basically doing the conversion. Then with this address, which is an address payable, we can transfer some value to other addresses. Okay, so let us have some coding together. I will open my Remix IDE and I'm gonna create a contract. I have already created this file, address file. You can name it as you want. So let's say contract address. And in this contract, I will have a bool and let us call it private this time. We have been using public until now. And let's say owner. So I want to give the address of the owner. And here, as you can see, we have an account address, right? And I can copy it directly. So let us paste it here and okay, we can use it. So now I will create a getter function again. And let's say get owner and it's going to be a public function and a view function as well. And it's going to return the address of the owner. It's not with capital A. Okay. Okay, now let's return the owner. Please be careful here. The syntax is returns and here return. Okay, let us deploy this. Okay, we are getting an error because it's not bool, it's an address. I'm sure you got it. So here then we can deploy the contract and as you can see it's automatically compiled. There is no problem about it. If it's not activated on your own system, maybe your hardware is not enough to use autocompile because it can occur some problems. So you can just click compile address.sol. Here I will deploy the address smart contract. So let us deploy it and it's bottom of the page. So get owner. So here what I want you to understand, since it's private and a getter function is not automatically created. So there's only one function that we have created, which is a public function so that we can see it here. So let us get the owner. Okay, that's good. But this is not a very good way, to store our addresses. Instead of doing this, we can do something like that. So let's say message.sender. So message.sender is a special global variable that represents the sender of the transaction. So here the sender of the transaction is basically this account. So let us see if it works as well. So I'm gonna deploy the contract again and here I have another deployed smart contract. So let us see what's going on here. So it ends with EDDC4. So if you can check this, it's the same account. Instead of manually copying and pasting your account address, you can say message.sender. We'll be using this and some other global variable payables a lot in the next lecture. So in this video, I'm not gonna get into details for address payable since we didn't connect our wallet. But like I mentioned before, while developing our project, we'll be using address payable a lot. For now, if you got the idea of address payable, it's enough for me and you don't need to know anything else. So that's gonna do it for this video. I will see you in the next one.